And you talk about technology. Actually, technologies and innovations are crucial for climate change. And we know you have been always focused on technology. Back to 1985, you developed a concept which is to use solar energy to heat the water for some large manufacturing, chemical manufacturing plants. And more recently, you create a solar chill vaccine cooler for the communities in the rural areas. So what do you think the most promising technologies to fight climate change? You mentioned solar, wind, any other technologies in your mind, like hydrogen or other technologies, you think?
Yeah, I think the humanity today are more and more relying on a permanent sustainable solutions. Sustainable solution also can be temporary, but I'm talking about a permanent sustainable solution. Hydrogen appears to be that. And I have a great faith, not only hydrogen as a source of energy, but hydrogen probably provides us an idea about making our economy based on hydrogen. So we're talking about hydrogen economy. And I think that is one of the best things that can happen. I want to take this issue again at a philosophical level. Look at go about 500 years back. Okay, people say the industrial revolution, the technology revolution started with steam engine, right? Do you think that before steam engine there was no technology?
I think there were, yeah.
How it came? We didn't have a laboratory at that time. Neither we had a pilot plant at that time. Nature, we observed the nature and we copied the nature.
Sure.
It is called as a biomimicry. The bees, the honeybees, they work. You don't see honeybees alone. Even if it is going alone on a flower, ultimately it comes in a hive. There is a society. They all work together. The best technology comes from the nature. And we should have a nature biomimicry technology center. We should have a center to do biomimicry by using the digital technology. See, luckily we have a digital technology today. Let's make a good use of it, not the bad use of it. And with that AI, artificial intelligence, IoT, sensors, we should start doing a development by using what nature is doing. Because nature is there for, I think, billions of years. So nature has also gone through such crises. Only not we are going through the pandemic crisis or climate change crisis. They have gone through it. Let's learn from there. How did they go? How did they did the crisis management? And learn from that. And that technology we should adopt.
Right. So nature is a good teacher.
Yes.
And education is very important. So how do you think the educational institutions can help?
The typical answer to that question is change the curriculum. Okay? Start teaching the students and the young students about the nature, about how the nature benefits, how the climate change crisis can be solved, etc., etc. But the best way to do that, learn by doing. So each school surrounding, each university campus should become a pilot plant. Campus is a living laboratory. So the youth should be working with their own hands and learn it. And that is a real education. Education is not reading books. Education is not what listening to the teacher. Education is not what you understand from the teacher. Education is action based on what you hear, what you observe, and what you read.
That's a great answer. Thank you. So last question. We know it's really important to find the common grounds between different stakeholders and, like you mentioned, build an ecosystem. Also, it's really important to find the common ground between like developing countries and developed countries, especially for the climate change. So do you have any good like practice to share with us? Like how can we do that? We know there are some barriers, right? Like political barriers, cultural barriers. So how can we to build this common ground?
It's a big challenge building, because every country has its own interest, every region has its own interest. So today we see that grouping happening. We have a G7, we have a G20, we have BRICS, and we have APEC. All these regional teams are coming together to find a common ground. It's a very difficult question, how the people can forget the differences and come together. But let me tell you, we did that. We did that in ozone layer. In 1980, when the analysis was done, 85% of greenhouse gas emission was by developed country, not developing country.
Yeah.
Of course, now the thing is changing. Now in a climate change, they should help us, because they were more responsible for climate change. But because of that responsibility, now the developed country have a responsibility to provide financial assistance, technological assistance, form the partnerships so that we can work together. And I think that is what is needed, the partnership and working together, setting up the centers of innovation, startups. We did that. We did that even in digital technology. And people are now coming out with various aspects of artificial intelligence. And the other thing is, like what BISA is trying to do, is getting the industry and the business around the world together, not only for benefit of Beijing, but that could also help the others.
Yeah.
And we have another NGO called ClimAction. That ClimAction takes the youth to the field trip. Why you take youth to
learn from actions?
Nature.
Yeah,
Learn
from nature.
Nature exists not only in China. Nature exists in Latin America, in Africa, in India, in Central Asia. So look at that. Because nature has developed the planet. Nature has not developed the borders. Nature has not developed one country. Nature has developed a planet. And I think that is what is needed today for between developed and developing countries to do that. It's very difficult. It's very easy to say in a studio and answering your questions, but very difficult in practical sense.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Right.
And it's glad to have you here again. Thank you.